Hallo, namens de Nashua High School North School Community had ik jullie hartelijk welkom en hoop dat je een hele fijne tijd hier met ons hebt.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Полина. От имени сообщества Nashua High School North я бы хотела пригласить вас в нашу школу и надеюсь, что вам здесь понравится, и мы ждем с нетерпением вашего приезда. Спасибо.
السلام عليكم، مرحبا بكم في ناشوا الجنوبية. نتمنى أن تستمتعوا بوقتكم ونعمل إلى العمل معكم وشكرا.
我代表拿士华北区高中校区，欢迎大家到我校。我希望与大家度过快乐时光，而且我们希望与大家继续合作。谢谢大家。
Mabibi na mabwana, kwa niaba ya Nashua High School North, ningependa kuwakaribisha shuleni kwetu. Ni matumaini yangu kwamba mtakuwa na wakati mwema tunaposhirikiana. Asanteni.
به نمایندگی از دبیرستان شمالی نشوا شما را خیر مقدم میگم به مدرسه ما. امیدوارم که شما از اینجا بودنتون لذت ببرید. ما در آینده با şuma همکاری خواهیم کرد. Nashua Kuzey Lise adının üzerinde hoş geldiniz söylüyorum size. Biz umuyoruz güzel zamanımız olsa bizim okulumuz içinde.
Bon après-midi. À partir de communauté de l'école secondaire Nashua High North, je voudrais vous accueillir et soyez bienvenus à notre école. Nous espérons que vous ayez la joie de passer le temps ici et aussi nous regardons davantage de travailler avec vous. Merci.
Bashinganaye namwe bapfasoni turakengurutse kubona mwafashe aka kanya ko kwifatikanya natwe hano ku ishuri ryisumbuye Nashua High School North. Turakengurutse cyane kandi turifuza ko twokwama dufatanya namwe imisi yose. Murakoze.
Em nome da comunidade Nashua High School North, gostaríamos de dar-lhes as boas-vindas à nossa escola. Esperamos que vocês aproveitem seu tempo aqui e estamos ansiosos para trabalhar com vocês. En nombre de la comunidad de Nashua High School North, les damos la bienvenida a nuestra escuela. Esperamos que disfruten su estadía y tener el placer de trabajar con ustedes.
בשם קהילת נשווה נורת' ברצוני לקבל אתכם לבית ספרנו. אנו מקווים שתהנו זמן ביקורכם ואנו מצפים לעבוד איתכם.
On behalf of the Nashua High North community, I would like to welcome you to our school. We hope you enjoy your time here, and we look forward to working with you.
Please stand and join us in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon. I am Esther Broder, co-chair of the NEASC Steering Committee. I would like to introduce our first speaker for the panel presentation, Dawn Mead. She will be highlighting our mission statement. Dawn.
We opened this state-of-the-art facility in the fall of 2002. At that time, we were the junior-senior site and still directly connected to our sister school across the river. We worked together as one staff at that time to develop a mission statement that would encompass and fulfill the needs of both populations. In the fall of 2004, we officially opened as a four-year high school with its own identity, growing Titan traditions and culture. In the spring of 2006, the Mission Committee was formed. Our first initiative was to examine the existing mission statement, use it as a template to create our own. We agreed that it was important to recognize how we truly were our own school, with our own culture and our own identity. And yet, we were still considered a sister school in the district. As you walk the halls of North, you will see our diverse population of students, as you did today. And as a committee, we recognized this as something we wanted to promote through ensuring respect and a sense of safety. As educators, we wanted to foster and encourage our students to become lifelong learners. We found that the same 5 themes kept coming up in our conversations: rigor, relevance, responsibility, respect, and relationships. From these discussions, the North 5 R's were created and adopted. Over the next 3 days, you will see the 5 R's everywhere you look. I'm not referring to the painted poles or the proudly displayed banners. I am talking about our staff, our students, and our faculty. Our true strength is our strong and long-lasting relationships that exist between our staff and students. This relationship is the true foundation for teaching respect for self and others, along with the importance of personal responsibility. With these things in place, rigor and relevance become an easier and attainable goal for each teacher within the curriculum and each of our students within their academic success. I've worked in the Nashua School District for 21 years. It's the only job and only second home I've ever known. And I consider myself truly lucky to not only have been a part of the physical planning of this facility, but to be a part of creating a school that our students, our staff, and the Nashua community can be proud of. Thank you. I would now like to introduce David Goldsmith, Tina Eaton, and Timothy Bosch, who will speak to you about school and community profile.
I'm David Goldsmith.
I'm Tim Bosch.
I'm Tina Eaton.
We decided that the easiest way to communicate the key findings of our school and community profile was in a multimedia form. So the next 9 minutes or so should hopefully communicate a lot about who we are.
Nashua High North opened as a 4-year high school in 2004 as one of 2 public high schools in Nashua, the second largest city in New Hampshire. Nashua is located on the Massachusetts border and is approximately an hour north of Boston. Nashua has a population of approximately 87,000. 64% of the households in Nashua have school-aged children. Nashua is one of the more culturally and ethnically diverse communities in New Hampshire. The largest employers in the Nashua area are the defense, computer, and communications technology and healthcare industries. The per capita income is about $25,000, and the median income for a family of 4 is $61,000. Compared to state averages, Nashua is very thrifty in its school spending. Nashua's per pupil expenditure for high school students is approximately $8,460, compared to the state average of $10,877. The city of Nashua's 12,000 students are divided among 12 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 2 high schools: Nashua High School North and Nashua High School South. Students from Pennachuck Middle School, Elm Street Middle School, and the Phoenix program also feed into North. Though the 2 high schools are separate schools, they do share a common curriculum, and some students travel daily between schools to attend certain applied technology or advanced placement courses. Nashua High School North serves a population of almost 2,000 students. The student population is 80% Caucasian, 13% Hispanic Latino, 4% African American, and 3% Asian. Nashua continues to diversify racially and culturally, with the most significant increases in the Hispanic, Latino, and Asian populations. 28.7% of our students qualify for free or reduced lunch. Nashua High School North employs 139 professional and 35 support staff. All teachers are teaching in their areas of certification. 50% of the Nashua North faculty has earned a master's degree or higher. Students attend school for 180 days as mandated by the state. Nashua High School North has a 4x4 block schedule consisting of 4 88-minute classes per day. Students are not leveled at Nashua High School North. Courses, however, are offered at 4 different levels: Foundation, Extension, Honors, and Advanced Placement. Approximately 36% of students are enrolled in non-leveled courses, 30% in Honors courses, 20% in Extensions courses, 11% in Foundation level courses, and 3% in AP courses. One of the tremendous academic strengths of Nashua High School North is the impressive range of course offerings from which students can choose. We offer 19 advanced placement courses, 4 foreign languages, many academic electives, and a broad range of applied technology courses in areas including automotive, cosmetology, graphic design, culinary arts, hospitality, video production, biotechnology, marketing, financial services, and computer-assisted design. Nashua High School North makes numerous efforts to create smaller learning communities within the school. The school is organized into a lower form, consisting of grades 9 and 10, and an upper form, consisting of grades 11 and 12. Within the lower form, all freshmen are part of the Transition Academy, and all sophomores are part of the Exploratory Academy. The upper form is divided into 4 academies: Health and Human Services, Math, Science and Technology, Arts, Humanities and Communication, and Business and Global Communication. Nashua High School North, together with Nashua High School South, has been awarded a grant from the U.S. Department of Education from 2007 to 2010 to enhance its work on smaller learning communities. This grant may be renewable through 2012. Nashua High School North offers a tremendous variety of extracurricular activities. The school has more than 50 extracurricular organizations with about 1,500 student members. It has an extensive sports program with nearly 1,000 students participating, from the freshman to the varsity level. Other activities include Student Senate, Debate Club, Drama Club, Anime, and Chess Club, to name a few. North employs a Student Activities Director whose explicit goals are to promote positive school spirit and to maximize student involvement in extracurricular activities. Nashua students and faculty have received recognition and awards in a number of areas, including the First Place Federal Reserve Challenge, many DECA and FBLA awards, All-State Music, and numerous art awards. Our first robotics team was selected as one of only 15 Hall of Fame teams in the world, and the Titan swim team was the state champion for 2007 through 2008. In 2006, Nashua High School North was recognized as the New Hampshire High School of Excellence. Student performance is measured by a variety of standardized tests. A significantly higher percentage of Nashua students take SATs than the state average. Scores are below the state average, however, as indicated in the chart shown. Our average AP scores exceed both the New Hampshire and New England averages. In recent years, Nashua High School North has had a great increase in the percentage of students pursuing a post-secondary education. North students have an opportunity to take courses that offer dual credit at both the high school and college level. North has also cultivated numerous partnerships in the community, especially in the areas of applied technology and hospitality. Some of the most significant partnerships are with BAE Systems, Crown Plaza Hotel, the Nashua Symphony, and the Nashua Bar Association. Nashua High School North does not have a service learning requirement for graduation. However, student organizations devote approximately 13,000 total hours per year to service learning and activities including the Penguin Plunge, Red Cross blood drives, and an ongoing relationship with the Major Drive housing project. Nashua High School North is dedicated to continuous school improvement. As a result, many of the schools and districts' initiatives are focused on this goal. The faculty has developed competencies for all of the courses that the school offers. This year we instituted benchmark assessment tests in both reading and math for 9th and 10th grade students to help promote student success. Nashua North has created a curriculum, instruction, and assessment team to foster improved student learning. North has established a literacy team to foster reading and writing proficiency. Our many efforts at school improvement seem to be effective, as illustrated by a dramatic increase in state NECAP test scores, an increase in college enrollment, and a decline in the dropout rate. The flagship school improvement programs have been facilitated through the previously mentioned Smaller Learning Communities Grant, whose goals are to increase academic success for all, increase engagement of all students, and prepare students to succeed in post-secondary education or careers. We have increased the number of critical friends groups and professional learning communities which foster faculty collaboration and support. Perhaps the most interesting reflections about what it means to be a Nashua High School North Titan come from the words of our students.
Being a Titan means having pride when you come to school, being excited to come here every day.
I'm a senior at North. What it means to be a Titan is to be a leader and to always be driven to what you want to do in life.
Being a Titan of Nashua High North is more than me being a student. It's about like family, and I feel welcome every day since I've been a freshman. Now I'm a senior, walking through these doors. It's been a big impact on my life coming here because I thought it was going to be a bad school, and whatnot, but it turned out to be amazing and enjoying and welcoming.
And I think that what it means to be a Titan is someone who contributes positively to the school, as well as involved in clubs and sports, and wants to make the school a better place.
The thing I like most about the school is the size, and it's so diverse that you get to meet a lot of different people from a lot of different places, and everyone's really welcoming and friendly.
And I think, as a general note, my favorite thing about the school is all the opportunities that we get to do whatever we want. Even through like financial troubles and that kind of thing, it's pretty much stayed fairly stable as to like our choices for classes and extracurricular activities.
One thing that I really like about North is the amount of clubs, amount of people you meet here. There's really just like a variety of stuff you can do.
To be a Titan, I play soccer, so you get team spirit, and I'm also involved in a lot of clubs.
At the school, it just seems so clean, and the staff and teachers are always willing to help the students.
To me, it means working your hardest at everything you do. So whether it's in a sport or a club or a class, you have to work really hard at it because you're always challenged here. It's a great place to really push yourself to the limits and see what you can do.
I now have the pleasure of introducing to you the mayor of our fine city, Mayor Donnelly Lozo. She was elected the 55th mayor of Nashua in November of 2007. Donnelly is a native and lifelong resident of Nashua. Prior to being elected mayor, she represented Nashua Wards 5 in the New Hampshire House of Representatives for 16 years. During her tenure in the House, Donnelly held the leadership position of Deputy Speaker. She also served for many years as the Director of Program and Community Development at Southern New Hampshire Services. Mayor Lozo is married to David Lozo and has 3 children. Mayor Lozo will be speaking today about how the schools affect the community. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Lozo.
I don't think I need to use the microphone, do I? Yes, Jim. You know, that always cramps my style, Jim. I like to walk and talk. It's the Phil Donahue part of things, right? Okay, now I can tell how old some of you are. Welcome to Nashua. I believe that you will find a community that is excited about education, that feels good about our students and our faculty. While you're here, you're going to see a top-notch facility. You're going to see top-notch faculty. You're going to see them teaching top-notch curriculum to, come on, you guessed it, top-notch students, right? I just thought I'd play on that a little bit. You know, in all seriousness, I don't think it comes as any surprise to anybody that all communities throughout New Hampshire and actually throughout the nation right now are suffering from financial constraints. Nashua's no exception to that. In spite of that, as one of the students said, somehow they feel like they're not losing out on things, and that's really important. Before I was mayor, and I looked at our schools, what bothered me the most was the fighting between the Board of Aldermen and the Board of Education. Nashua's a little bit different than some communities. We have a Board of Education and a Board of Aldermen who have some shared responsibility. Primarily, the shared responsibility is financial in nature. So the Board of Aldermen and the mayor can cut the bottom line of the school budget, but can't go in and have an impact on curriculum or where spending occurs. But I think all of us know that when you cut the bottom line of a budget, its impact is felt throughout the budget in one way or another. One of the goals that I set was to try to develop a better working relationship between the mayor and the Board of Ed and the superintendent, and then the Board of Aldermen and the Board of Education. I think we've come a long way in that. As you may be aware of, this past year, we had a deficit in the school budget. And it was a deficit that took many of us by surprise. And I was quite proud of how we reacted to that, not only as a governing body, but as a community as a whole. Most people were hopeful that we would find a solution without us banging heads or pointing fingers, and we did that. Coming into this budget year, we're looking at a $6 million problem. The superintendent and the school board stood up, came together, and made the cuts that they could. And I turned to the other departments in the city and said, you need to come in at level so we can find a way to cover the costs that we need to for education, because it's a priority here. The comments, the calls, the emails I've received are from people saying, please don't let anything hurt the education we deliver to our kids. These weren't just from parents. These were from the community at large. They were from businesses that know that a skilled workforce coming from our community is essential to what they do in the community. We have developed and continue to develop strong partnerships, some of which you saw displayed earlier, some of which you may not see. And that's departments working with the school department on every level. Now, oftentimes, while maybe the leaders were butting heads, quietly departments were still working together. Public Works could maybe call over to the school department to talk about somebody coming to help, and vice versa. I think we've raised that to even a higher level. I have what I call a cabinet, and it's made up of all of the directors that report directly to me, and then the 4 directors that don't. And it's really made a difference to have schools, library, police, and fire at the table with all the other departments. And I know it's been successful because they talk to each other without my help, without my motivation, without my direction. They call each other, they talk to each other, and they share resources. And that's making a difference too. So while you're here, I think that you will find a community that embraces education, that looks at our school and our students as a source of pride. I'll share another example with you. There's a program going on in one of the hospitals right now that's dealing with childhood obesity. And when they were trying to put something together and go out on the road and start to talk about it, they reached out to the high school and said, can your video students come in and put a program together with us? It's an immediate thought to people in our community to look to our schools. That's a great sign. Now, I graduated from Nashua High School in 1978, so I'm a Panther at heart. And my son happened to be going to Nashua High when the new school was being built. And I have to tell you, as a parent at that time, I was very worried about how that was going to work out. All these kids in this one school while another school was being built, and then they had to switch because they had to do the other school, and it worked out beautifully. And I know that it worked out beautifully because the teachers were dedicated to making sure that it was a seamless thing for kids, that it wouldn't impact them, especially as they moved on to college. Now, my last one's a junior at Nashua High School South, so he's a Panther too. And school isn't as exciting for him as it was for my other 2, who, by the way, came through the system and are both school teachers. Go figure. But my third son, he looks at school, and he's not necessarily a fan of the academics, I can't tell you the impact that it has on him to see that the faculty cares about him, that they pay attention, that they know what he's doing, that they have figured him out, let's say, so that he succeeds. And that's another piece, because when you look at some of the academics that we're talking about, and we talk about your AP students, it's important to know that our schools don't let our other kids fall through the cracks. And that's why you're seeing a difference in our dropout rates, because teachers put in the extra time to know who our kids are. And that's made a difference here. So I'm very proud of our schools. I know that the folks here are very proud of them as well. And I'm sure that you're going to have a successful time here. And I know that you're going to give us the green light. Thanks for coming today.
We have several speakers presenting the issues and challenges facing the school in light of our mission and expectations and our school and community profile. Our first speaker is Tara Veit, who is a guidance counselor at Nashua High North.
Good afternoon. As you have become aware, we have over 2,000 students in our school. Of those 2,000 students, there are many different races, colors, creeds, and abilities. As a result, these students' needs to be successful academically, socially, and emotionally vary greatly. We utilize new research, evidence-based best practices to ensure that we meet these needs. As we all know, education has evolved, and we want to ensure that we consider all of the approaches available. We assess the needs of each student as a whole child. We believe that there are many different facets to our students' life that impact their ability to be successful. We think outside the box. We do not try to force a square peg into a round hole. We acknowledge that there is no cookie-cutter way of educating our students. One way in which we have addressed this is through our guidance department. We have, for the past over 2 years now, had a guidance counselor specifically assigned to students who have been identified as at risk. The goal being to re-engage these students and provide them an alternative way to graduate. We believe it takes a village to educate our students. We cannot do this alone, and we need our community to help us out. One very valuable community resource is the Adult Learning Center. 3 of their programs have helped to educate our students. The Clearway High School, which is an alternative for earning their diploma. They have a GED program, which not only provides the testing, but also preparation classes. They also have a Get Ready for College program for students who are out of school. Within our own walls, we have a number of alternative ways of educating students. Fifth Block, which is a way in which to recover lost credits during the school year. The Nashua Community Adult School, otherwise known as our Adult Ed program, where students can be enrolled full-time or take individual classes if for some reason they are what we call dually enrolled, where they go to day classes and night classes. We have our secondary summer school program, an opportunity for students to, again, regain some credits they have lost over the summer. The My Turn program, which James Doucette is going to explain following me. The summer school enrollment, as you can see, there was a steady increase. We believe that this is indicated by the better utilization of our resources. We're trying to keep our students on track to graduate. And also the middle schools utilize this as a way to prepare their students for the transition to high school. You can see this is the decline in students who have decided to drop out. Students who have dropped out for many reasons. We believe the decline has been attributed to the collaboration with our community, the guidance counselors that we have assigned to the at-risk students, and our out-of-the-box thinking that we have embraced. The Nashua Community Adult School graduates has increased. As you can see, our graduates from this program have gone from 27 to 93. Since the passing of Senate Bill 18, some of these students have been regained from the population who had dropped out previously. We have actively gone out and searched them out and brought them back and found a fit for them so that they too can be successful and graduate. Now I would like to introduce James Doucette, one of our students, who is going to be talking about the My Turn program. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James Doucette. I'm here to talk about the My Turn program. The My Turn program is all about opportunity and success for young teenage adults. Here we can learn what the professional job world is like. We learn how to fill out perfectly neat applications, cover letters, and resumes. The most important skill is how to dress and speak professionally at a job interview. If this program wasn't here, us teenage adults would be less likely to get jobs and more likely to get into trouble, which we don't want. The My Turn program provides a lot for us, and I thank the My Turn program for helping me and my peers prepare for the real world. I'll be using the things I learned in this program to help myself and others get on a successful career path. So I thank you for your time and attention. And the next speaker that we'll hear from is DJ Cincy about activities for students here at Nashua High School North. Thank you.
At Nashua High School North, there are a variety of activities that appeal to the different interests and diversity of the student body. Currently, there are over 50 extracurricular activities at North with numerous members. All students are encouraged to become involved and to take advantage of the opportunities available. To name a few, North has an anime club, green club, language clubs, honor societies, sports, and many more. It is also possible for students to create a new club or activity if enough students are interested, a faculty advisor is available, and if space and facilities can be provided. For example, new to this year's ongoing list of clubs is the Latino Club and the Thread Club. The Latino Club formed in the middle of the school year, and they just hosted their first fundraiser this past Thursday, selling native Latino goodies. The Thread Club formed at the beginning of the school year, and they have teamed up with other clubs, such as the History Club, in order to raise the revenue for their supplies. The Central Overseeing Club is the Activity Coordination Team, otherwise known as ACT. ACT basically supervises all clubs, events, promotes school spirit, sponsors community service projects, and looks to improve school morale. Everyone is invited and encouraged to join, of course. For instance, on March 9th, ACT teamed up with the Red Cross Club to host a charity concert in order to raise money for Haiti. That night, we made over $600. Another event is the upcoming blood drive that, once again, ACT and the Red Cross Club will be assisting with. At the last blood drive in December, North collected over 100 pints of blood, which really illustrates the student involvement here at North. Overall, North's activities department is a valuable resource in making the high school experience memorable. Our last speaker on this topic is Sam Copeland. She will present the Spirit program. Thank you.
SPIRIT stands for Student Problem Identification and Resolution of Issues Together. The program embodies virtually every aspect of Nashua High School North's mission statement. To me, however, SPIRIT meant the opportunity to broaden my mind and finally embrace myself and my ethnicity. I participated in the program last year as a junior, and it was one of the best experiences I've had at this school. The program is designed to help improve racial climate of schools. I was honored to be nominated and excited for the unique opportunity. To participate in SPIRIT, students must show leadership qualities and be nominated by teachers. SPIRIT is student-driven. As a result, many of us that participated felt we were empowered and that we mattered to the school. Opinions were respected, people could speak freely and without judgment. Last year, the program brought together students, administrators, and teachers to help identify issues in our school, develop solutions, and take action. Action was indeed taken. From our ideas, more seating in the cafeteria, a student activity board, and a SPIRIT committee, among other things, ensued. The SPIRIT program is extremely beneficial. I was able to speak my mind, and at the same time, I made lasting connections with people from diverse backgrounds. We all found that we had many commonalities and were able to appreciate our differences as well. I really appreciated the fact that the teachers and administrators that participated in the program took the time out of their busy schedules to be there with us every step of the way. We found support, acceptance, and understanding, which are essential to high school students. I'm grateful to have been a participant in this program. Thank you. Our critical strengths and needs will now be presented by Paul Menard.
Well done, Sam. Thank you. Our list of critical strengths and needs evolved through a reflective process. It took place on many different levels. It began in the standard committees, where we started to look at the school through the indicators of each individual standard. We next met in academies, where we developed lists of issues and needs and strengths that face the academies in particular. The steering committee then took those lists and combined common ideas into common language. We then met as a whole school where we could review and comment on our list of critical strengths and needs before taking a final vote. We believe that our strengths can be summed up in one word: people. From the dedicated staff to the diverse student population, Nashua North is a community of people dedicated to one idea: educating our students. We work in a beautiful building that is cared for by our custodial staff, and we are supported by secretaries, assistants, paraprofessionals, and volunteers. As you saw in the school and community profile, we have over 150 teams, clubs, and organizations. Beyond the sheer number, it is important to note the range and variety of student interests that it serves. And these clubs and organizations and teams are led by faculty with shared interests, shared concerns. So we're educating them academically, socially, intellectually, emotionally, you name it. If we believe that our greatest strength comes from within the building, then we must recognize that our needs are influenced by forces outside of the building. We'd all like more money for our schools, and Nashua North is no exception. As a community, we have identified several concerns, but chief among them is the need for funding for technology. When the school was built in 2002, we had state-of-the-art technology. Today, much of our technology is outdated, inadequate, or in disrepair. We need financial support to upgrade the technology, repair and make available that which is not outdated, and we need training to provide, and we need money to provide training for all the specialized tools that we have. In addition to technology, Nashua North needs a greater financial commitment to professional development. Although the district does provide professional development opportunities in-house, they are generally focused on understanding and implementing school and district initiatives. Teachers need access to opportunities to pursue their personal, professional goals, to address their individual needs as classroom teachers to improve instruction. I would now like to introduce Mr. Scott Johnson, who's going to talk about our student work and how it was collected.
I'd like to welcome our visiting team, today's guests, and those who are watching from home. As part of our self-evaluation, examples of student work have been gathered across all of our curriculum areas, and this is a broad representation of our daily activities, tests, and projects at all levels. Over the past 4 months, staff coordinated with their head teachers to organize these samples. Some of the student work will be shared with our visiting team during their teacher interviews later today, and other pieces are on display in the team's workroom. Each sample is labeled with a cover sheet indicating the name of the teacher, their department, and grade level, along with the type of assessment and expected learner outcomes. We're excited to showcase what we do here at Nashua High School North, and we look forward to the visiting team's feedback. We expect that the results of the next few days will assist us in becoming better educators, and we appreciate the time that everyone has given to this process. At this time, I want to turn the program over to Assistant Principal Chris Motika, who will speak to us about how the school measures achievement of its learning expectations. Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Good afternoon. My name is Chris Motika, and I'm an assistant principal here at Nashua North. Today I'm going to be talking about how we as a school measure achievement of our learning expectations. All of the following strategies and forms of assessment that I'll be talking about work together to help us measure achievement and to then create individual learning expectations for each student. While each department and course at North has specific learning expectations based on state frameworks, grade span expectations, and competencies in many cases, we work diligently to know each individual learner and where they enter each course in order to best serve them. This personalization is reflected through North's 5 R's, which you've seen earlier. In terms of rigor and relevance, not only do we utilize traditional tests and quizzes to measure achievement of learning expectations, but we've also embraced a variety of different assessments to obtain data about what students know and understand. In terms of local and state assessments, we look at the NECAP, or the New England Common Assessment, as well as our own local benchmark assessments in math, reading, and just recently, science. In terms of the local assessments, we go through a very big process where test items are created, specifically teams of educators, come together. They look at released items from the NECAP. They look at the grade span expectations, and they come up with test items. Students then take the tests, and teachers engage in a qualifying or scoring process. At this point, very rich discussions come up about the constructed response items, looking at where there are gaps in learning, as well as where there are successes. Finally, there's a curriculum instruction and assessment committee that breaks down the data. We look at disaggregated data and growth over time, specifically looking at, for instance, a year's worth of growth in one semester, as well as the trends and increased expectations that we have with grade span expectations. The next steps are to continue administering local assessments and to provide professional development that reflects what we as educators have learned about learners and learning. Based on a recent benchmark assessment in reading, we have seen gains in inferencing skills, but still see a gap in vocabulary identification. This is being addressed directly through a new vocabulary program being created by administrators and the literacy team here at North. We also look at constructed response and school-wide assessments. There's a school-wide effort to get students familiar with the format of state and local assessments. In September, we did an entire school test whereby freshmen, sophomores, and juniors completed a practice test based on SAT and released NECAP items. The first early release of the year, we had teachers qualify and score the tests. This created two very important aspects of what we do to help students achieve success in school. The first of which is what we call a tighten up activity. This is a very specific pause period of remediation and enrichment. On a tighten up day, teachers purposefully stop their instruction. They utilize the data they have from formative assessments and provide students with the appropriate level of intervention, remediation work or instruction for students who have not demonstrated competence, and enrichment work for students who are excelling. The second thing that came out of our school-wide assessment was an SLC intervention. Through the SLC, or Smaller Learning Communities grant, there are two primary areas of intervention offered. The first of which is an after-school tutorial, whereby students can go and receive extra help in any of the content areas on a different day of the week. The second is a pull-out program specifically aimed at sophomores and in the fall, juniors. What we do is we take the assessment data that we've gained, we look at students who we consider to be on the bubble. In other words, students who are really close to achieving competence in particular skills. We work very specifically with them on areas that we've identified through assessment as needing extra help. Next, we look at posting competencies and common assessments. When the State Board of Education required that all courses be tied to competencies, Nashua's high schools worked together to ensure that all courses taught at both schools had competency-based learning outcomes. Here at North, it has changed the way students understand what is expected of them. Teachers have competencies posted in their classrooms. In some cases, teachers have pictures posted underneath the competencies, and in other cases, teachers have had students create posters with the written competencies and their own artwork to identify what they need to know. Either way, students are talking about competencies and what it means to be competent with regard to skills and concepts. Common assessments have been brought to the forefront of courses for the sake of horizontal alignment to ensure that all students taking a particular course will leave that course with similar skills and enduring understandings. The mathematics department has been the most successful to date, having all summative assessments being common across a course. Other departments have been working very hard and diligently to mirror this process and continue to develop common assessments throughout their content areas. Next, in terms of measuring achievement, we have academic rubrics. Last year, North had a rubric boom of sorts. While many people were already implementing this best practice into their instructional repertoire, others were curious to know how rubrics worked and how they could create them. In May of 2009, we had a rubric expert in the building to discuss analytic and holistic rubrics. We offered just-in-time professional development where a workshop is held each of the 4 blocks throughout the day, as well as after school, allowing teachers to come in and gain professional development during a planned period or again after school. From these sessions, a rubric committee was formed, took on the task of compiling all of the rubrics created by teachers in the building. These rubrics are currently housed as a resource for the entire faculty on a SharePoint site, which I believe you guys have somewhere in your packet. People continue to send and upload rubrics to the site in order to share with their colleagues. Next, we'll be talking about the other 3 R's: relationships, respect, and responsibility. A note to the visiting team, you should have some handouts in your binder under the panel presentation section. And for the Board of Ed, we do have some of these handouts available at the end of the presentation. The first is the student assessment record. This comes as a result of the district's course repeater policy, which was just implemented this year, and in an effort by the 2 high schools to ensure that students are taking personal responsibility for their education. The forms, one for students to fill out and one for teachers, were created by both high school administrative teams and head teachers. The student forms allow students to reflect on what they've done and what they're doing to better succeed in courses. They're able to fill out dates they have attended extra help sessions, times they have sought teacher assistance, and assignments they have made up. They're also able to reflect on other strategies that they've sought to improve upon their failing grades. The teacher form allows teachers to fill out student interventions they have incorporated into their instruction. Things like parent contact, after-school sessions attended by students, remediation work provided, and whether competency recovery is an option. These are all things on the forms. The overall purpose of the forms is to figure out why students are failing and how we can help them succeed. Last, civic and social rubrics. This came out of the rubric committee, which was mentioned earlier. The civic and social rubric was a culmination of much discussion around student behavior and the need for visible, measurable expectations. The rubric, which translates into a citizenship grade on the student's report card, measures their behavior in and out of the classroom. Specifically, students can be placed into one of 4 categories: a Titan leader, which is a student who goes above and beyond the expectations in order to better the learning environment here at North. Next is a Titan citizen, for someone who meets the expectations that are set. Third is a needs improvement score, which is for students who need classroom interventions in order to become a Titan citizen. And finally, remediation. This is for students who require interventions at the administrative level. The rubric is posted in all classrooms, and teachers discussed it with students on the first day of classes. Most significantly, it is tied to privileges, and if students are in the remediation category, some privileges may be taken away. Looking ahead, we are devising a plan to celebrate those students who are considered leaders. This concludes our panel presentation. We hope you have enjoyed getting a sense of Nashua High School North, who we are and what we do. Our steering committee and standard committee chairs are available at this time to answer any questions. Thank you.
At this time, are there any questions? Anything that you've seen or would like to see? Yes, sir.
What time of the year are
the math, reading, and science, the BAM bar and BAS. BAS just started. BAM and bar. Go ahead, Mr. Motika.
The BAS was just administered for the first time. That's a really good question. We actually used the model that we worked with Measured Progress on in order to create the test items for the BAS, the Benchmark Assessment in Science. So that was given in the spring in preparation for the upcoming Science NECAP in May. The benchmark assessments in math and reading are offered twice a year. Last year, when we first implemented them, they were given the first week of school to 9th graders, and then again in January, and then again in May. This year, for freshmen and sophomores, we've given it in January, and we'll be administering again either May or June. We're still working out final details. Yep.
Any other questions? We do thank you all very much for your attention, and at this time we have a number of meetings that we're moving to. 2 actually is our number. The Board of Education is going to be meeting with half the visiting team in the Career Center, out these doors and to the right, just before the reception area where all that wonderful food was. It's on the right. And then the other half of the visiting team will be meeting with parents in the Media Center, which is just opposite the Career Center, again, just before the reception area. That's on the left. So once again, thank you all very much and enjoy the rest of your day.